Hello guys, it's me Mercy and welcome to Beanspo Productions, and I'm here to give you guys another video. Today I'm continuing my series of videos called The Good, The Bad and The Oda, in which I talk about the positive, negative and Oda-esque aspects of each arc or movie of One Piece. Last time I did the Wano arc, and by logical order the Reverie arc should be next. But I will rather cover the Whole Cake Island first, since the Reverie arc is too short and it will take more work for me to make a decent video talking about it. But no worries, I will cover the Reverie arc one of these days. So let's do the Whole Cake Island arc. And remember that this video is mostly opinionated, so there's that. Now, before we begin, do not forget to leave a like in this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and press the bell for notifications when my videos goes out. Also, please share this video with your fellow friends and One Piece fans so they can watch my content. I also created a Patreon, so you can become a free member in the description down below. Without further ado, let's begin. For the positives of the Whole Cake Island arc, let's start with Sanji's character. He's clearly the start of the arc, and the reason part of the Straw Hats went to Totoland so they can rescue him. We learn a lot of new things about him besides the fact that he's from the Beanstalk family. We learn that he's a prince from Germa and a quadruplet, with the others being Ichiji, Niji, and Jonji. His biological father is Beanstalk Judge, and Reiju is the elder sister. We get more of his tragic past, as he was completely mistreated by his brothers and father, to the point that Judge locked him up in a cell and made his army think that he was dead. He was clearly different from his brothers, since he maintained his kindness thanks to his mother Sora's sacrifice. What I love about Sanji in this arc is that he stayed true to who he is as a person. Sure, he could have let his whole family die to Big Mom's hands due to how bad they treated him minus Reiju, but he couldn't bring himself to do it, so he went to save them, which is what makes Sanji kind. He also saved Whole Cake Island from Big Mom's hunger pains by preparing a wedding cake so good that it made Big Mom extremely happy and euphoric. This arc wasn't about Sanji having a major fight to prove how strong he is. It was about Sanji being what he has always been, a kind hook. Let's also not forget that his kindness won the heart of Pudding, as Sanji saying how pretty her third eye is completely broke her emotionally in a positive way. She ended up being a huge ally to the Straw Hats thanks to Sanji's kindness. Also, Germa citizens came to rescue him by the near end of the arc, all thanks to Sanji saving them. Judge had to repay the favor somehow. So, Sanji's character was a great highlight of this arc. Another great aspect of the Whole Cake Island arc is the confrontation between Luffy and Sanji. It is one of the most emotional fights in all of One Piece. Sanji, to the pain of his heart, fought Luffy since he didn't want to endanger Zeb's life in his own hands. Let's remember that for most of the arc, Judge reminded Sanji that if he ever tried to escape Whole Cake Island in the wedding, then Zeb will be killed. It also didn't help that he chained Sanji with wristlets that would explode if he ever tried to run away. Luckily they were fake due to Reiju's interference, but by the time of this fight, Sanji didn't know that. So the only way to protect his father figure self is by forcing Luffy to leave the island, even if that means fighting him. Not only does he hurt an already tired Luffy who just recently fought against Cracker, he also told him things that could hurt him too, like, "Get lost, you miserable inferior pirates," or "I don't know if you have what it takes to be the Pirate King." But after all of that, Luffy didn't budge. He didn't try to fight back, he just kept letting Sanji beat the crap out of him. Because he knows that Sanji is feeling a lot of pain about what he's doing more than Luffy. And the speech at the end of chapter 844, where he tells Sanji that without him, he can't become the king of the pirates, was the icing of the cake on this event. I gotta give the props to the anime for elevating this chapter and fight with great artwork, emotional OSTs, and incredible voice acting, especially Mayumi Tanaka as Luffy. Her voice cracked by the end of the speech, which made the scene even better. Speaking of music, the next positive aspect of the Whole Cake Island arc is the Disney theme musical themes throughout the arc. It was pretty amazing seeing this arc become a musical with really good songs all around. Highlights include the song played at the start of the arc with Big Mom and the homies singing about the preparation for the wedding, the one where Big Mom was eating the Sanji cake, and the final one where the Sun Pirates and Yermas the Siths were going to face Big Mom and his crew. It was truly a magical experience, especially the anime, which did a great job on these adaptations. We also have Disney themed aspects in some characters like Daifuku and his double fruit where he invokes a genie from his body. And let's not forget Yermas the Siths being a whole homage of Super Sentai or Power Rangers. The next positive thing about the Whole Cake Island arc is Luffy vs Karakuri. I already went in depth about this fight in one of my recent videos, which you can check out right here in this card. But to be brief, this fight was amazing and I like the fact that it was more about strong wills than power. Katakuri was clearly superior to Luffy in every way, but it's Luffy and his unbreakable will that was the deciding factor of this fight. Shout out to episode N70 for being an amazing adaptation of the Snake Man Luffy vs Katakuri portion of the fight, with incredible animation and epic OSTs. Speaking of Charlotte Katakuri, he's the next best aspect of the Whole Cake Island arc. His character was incredible and had a lot of development. He started off as this perfect, calm, and intimidating person who has the power to see 5 seconds into the future thanks to his mastery of observation haki. A lot of characters praise him so much and talk about how perfect and invisible this guy really is, that his back never touched the ground and all that kind of stuff. But in the middle of the Luffy fight, we see that it was all a lie, as we see this man eat donuts like crazy, laying on his back and with his scar off, which reveals a scar mouth with crooked teeth. He was very sensitive about his mouth because of his childhood past, so the moment Luffy interrupted his merienda and saw his true face, Katakuri got pissed and killed the chefs that were there and tried to kill Luffy, but his anger disrupted his future sight, so Luffy took advantage of that and gave him really good blows. But my favorite part was when he found out that Flampe was interfering in this fight with Luffy and decided to remove the scar and scold her for messing with a man's fight. He didn't care anymore about what Flamper and her mooks would do with the information about his crooked mouth. He also doesn't care anymore and started to accept who he is, and it's all thanks to Luffy and his unbreakable will. So Katakuri was a great character in this arc. The next great thing about this arc is Sulon Carrot. I really like Carrot as a character, but when she revealed that Sulon form, it was truly epic. This was the ace in the sleeve the Minks have to battle against Kaido and his forces, so it was great seeing a snippet of that power to Carrot. I love the transformation sequence where Carrot looks at the full moon and her fur begins to go wild while electricity begins intensifying in her body. It reminded me of when Goku and Gohan turned into grey apes due to looking at a full moon. And it was awesome seeing Sulon Carrot basically owning Daifuku and his fleet like they were too easy. And now let's talk about the next positive thing about this arc, which are Jinbei and Brook. Both of them were the true MVPs of the Whole Cake Island arc. First, let's touch on Jinbei. He has done some awesome things in this arc, such as being completely immune to Big Mom's Soul Focus ability because he wasn't afraid of her, and basically telling her that as a member of the future Pirate King's crew, he would not be afraid of a mere Junko. He also saved Luffy and Nami from being incarcerated, and drove off Big Mom from the Thousand Sunny with his Spearman karate. He was really an awesome one. And to touch on Brook, he also had great moments. First, He took the rubbings of the poneglyphs from Big Mom, hiding in his skull. That was crazy, since the poneglyphs are important in reaching Laugh Tale in the One Piece, so Brook put a great move here. He also challenged Big Mom and called her young lady, which was savage as f. He was also the one who ended up breaking Mother Caramel's picture, which was a crucial aspect of Capone's beige plan. Overall, both of these dudes were amazing. The next positive aspect of the Whole Cake Island arc is Big Mom's backstory. It was great seeing Big Mom and where she came from, and how she ended up becoming a menace. She was dangerous even as a 6-year-old, completely killing one of the other giants in one throw. I also love that we got to see a bit of Elbaf, which was an important island that the Straw Hats were going to reach eventually. But the biggest takeaway of this backstory is that the reason Mother Caramel disappeared and Big Mom obtained the soul fruit was because she ate caramel on the other kids. It was heavily implied in this chapter, but it doesn't take a genius to connect the dots and see how this was what really happened. It was really one of the darkest things Oda has ever done, so that's why this backstory was a highlight of the arc. And the last positive thing about the Whole Cake Island arc is opening 20 Hope. This is my third most favorite One Piece opening ever. This opening was perfect for the arc, since its lyrics talk about the bonds between Sanji and the Straw Hat Pirates. It is an emotional song which was sung by Nami Amuro, who also did the very popular opening 14 Fight Together, so you know she's great. I love this song so much and I couldn't stop replaying it. Now let's cover the few negative aspects of the Whole Cake Island arc. And first we got the pacing of the second half of the arc. Up until the wedding crash party, the pacing has been pretty good, but after the wedding, things have gotten a bit too draggy. I get that getting away from a Junko's HQ isn't a simple task, since there is fleets from left to right trying to stop it in your tracks. But I personally felt that we took too long to finish this arc. Instead of taking 40 chapters to finish the second half, they should have done at most 30 chapters, but hey, that's just me. The next negative thing about the Whole Cake Island arc is the seducing woods in the anime. They extended the hell out of that adventure in the anime. It felt just to drag. Similar to the last point, they should have done this section a little bit shorter, but since the anime loves to extend the hell out of scenes, they of course could care less. And the last negative thing about this arc is Flampe. Flampe. Yeah, she was important in this fight, since it's what made Karakuri change as a character, but still, she was such an unbearable one. It's not her interfering in the fight that pissed me off. It was her egotistical and crappy attitude. When Karakuri showed his mouth to her and her mooks the first time, they all were disgusted and started making fun of him. And she was supposed to be the fangirl of Karakuri because he looked too cool. And now, with that crooked mouth, she completely turned on him and called him a disgrace. A true younger sister would appreciate the unique aspects of her brother. Flamper clearly isn't one of those kind of sisters. So I was too happy when she got then out by Luffy in Karakuri's Clash of Conquerors Haki. That was satisfying to watch. Now let's talk about the Oda-esque aspects of this arc, and I only have two. First is Luffy and Brook healing their teeth and bones by simply drinking milk. When I saw that scene for the first time, I just bursted out laughing. I knew One Piece was wacky as but this was something new for me. Drinking milk suddenly heals all your teeth and bones now, I guess. If your bones are broken, drink milk. If you lost your tooth, drink milk. Bro, that's some crazy stuff. And the last Oda-esque thing about this arc is Luffy eating a lot and getting fat because of it, but all of a sudden he magically loses all of that weight in minutes or even seconds. We saw this happen multiple times before in this arc. But my favorite example is in the Karakuri fight, when Luffy had to eat all of that mochi to free himself from it, and he starts running in the mirror world. And a couple of seconds later, he returns already back to normal. Even the ships that were there couldn't believe what they saw. Man, I love One Piece. And that is all I got for today, guys. So tell me, do you like this video? Do you love the Whole Cake Island arc? Was there some aspect in the arc that I didn't mention? Comments down below and let me know. Do not forget to leave a like in this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, please watch my other videos and interact with them. I would really appreciate it. This was Mercy from Pinksmart Productions, and I see you guys in the next video. Au revoir.